Hey, what's happening everyone? I'm SirJames coming at you guys with another video, and today I'm here to give you guys my review on the Saberforge Fallen Mark II hilt. Now do keep in mind that I originally bought this as an empty hilt, so my main focus is on the hilt itself, not the plug and play kit that I have installed. If you wish to know more about the plug and play kit that I'm using from Saberforge, you can check one of my previous reviews, which is in the video description down below. So let's go ahead and hop to it, and don't worry, yes, I will be igniting the saber in this video, because I know some of you guys get very impatient, that's for sure. So let's go ahead and start with the initial price point. Now this saber as an empty option goes for $200, and it doesn't matter what option you go with. This one here is the standard chrome option. They also have a weathered and black. To be honest, it was really tough between the chrome option or the weathered, because they both look really good. It just comes down to personal preference, and it was really hard for me to decide. And I figured, you know what, I did a 3D printed option, and I kind of have it weathered up to look similar as the weathered option. So I figured, why not get the chrome, and maybe I could use the 3D printed one to show you guys the comparison. Maybe it'll help you guys decide on what color option you want to go with yourself. But as I stated, the price tag is $200. They do have this additional options available on their website, anodizing or whatnot, if you wish to choose that extra service. Now, as far as the time of ordering and when I received it, I actually received it within about a month time frame in terms of ordering and the time I was actually able to get it finally in my hands. So the wait time has actually been very good for the empty hilts. So very happy with that. In terms of the quality of the hilt, how does it feel? It definitely feels high quality. It feels extremely comfortable to hold, because you may remember that I actually took a look at the Ultra Saber version of the Fallen, which it had a really nice design. It was a bit different, not going for in-game accuracy. It's just the actual size of the hilt in general was actually quite large, really uncomfortable to hold, to the point that I actually sold the hilt the day after I received it. As you can see, I still have this one, and that's because I'm really happy with how this one turned out. Yes, it's a little bit more accurate to the game, but in terms of the sizing of the hilt, I've never had any issues when it comes to the hilts that Saberforge tends to offer, and I still stand to that till this day, at least until I find one that I hate, which might be a while before that even happens. Let me go ahead and give you guys a closer look. Now, I did mention that I was considering giving this a little bit of a white weathering. I'm not sure how well it's going to appear on camera, especially with all these lights going on, but I did give this a little bit of a light weathering to it, just to kind of dirty up a little bit. Not a lot, but just ever so lightly. And it definitely improved the look of the chrome version here quite a bit. Like I said, it's really hard to tell on camera, so I do apologize for that. I do like the fact that on the emitter, we actually do have that extra detail going on here. Very nice touch there. Here we have from the plug and play kit that I have. So this is the charge port to plug into the computer. Here's the main power switch. And then we flip this on over here. We do have that little box here that doesn't do anything, but we'll mention that here in just a few minutes. And towards the bottom here, we do have the damaged look of the actual hilt itself, because in the original one, Mach 1, it was actually clean all the way down, which is what my 3D printed one, so I could show you guys that. And it had a different style pommel to it. This one, again, has a different version of the pommel, but definitely looks really good, and you do have the nice details etched in there. So overall, I'm actually very pleased with how this looks. Now, there's a few things to go ahead and mention really quick, is that there are some really sharp edges on this piece. So if you do get this, these are some areas that you do need to be very cautious about. In terms of this bottom section here, where the damaged bit is, these edges here are extremely sharp. In fact, I accidentally cut myself the other day when I was messing with the pommel here, because I was screwing it back in and I wasn't paying attention to where my hand placement was. I ended up cutting myself on the palm of my hand on the edge of one of these pieces quite easily. So do keep that in mind if you do get this. These are going to be extra sharp. And the other area that's not quite as sharp, but it is pointy, so it's something to kind of make note is the control box right here. As I mentioned, specifically on the different corners here, you could choose to file it down a little bit if you want to do so, but for the most part, as far as swinging goes, that control box doesn't really seem to get in your way, honestly. You just got to be more cautious about this bottom section than anything. Besides that, let me go ahead and put in a blade. And then I'll talk about how the, in terms of installing the kit went for the plug and play setup, you know, whether or not was it easy or was it difficult. Now do keep in mind that if you do get a Saberforge hilts, they do come with a blade plug. This is just a standard design that they have. You can choose some of the different design options. I think it's like $5 more if you choose something else, but this is the basic one. That's not going to cost you anything extra. Now I'm just going to have a short blade in here just so I have room to kind of swing this around really quick. And just like that, using the retention screw that's located towards the top, we now have our blade ready to go. And as I mentioned before, since I've already reviewed the plug and play kit, last time I was stuck with that deep red because I never chose what I wanted. I did get some other colors, so this is the best that I had. Turn this off here. Darkness. So I do have this nice teal color. So this is the closest thing that I have to a blue. There we go. So you can see that looks really, really good. Ooh, come on. The plug and play kit takes a while to turn off. So that basically is how it looks like when you have a blade inserted, all lit up. Like I said, if you have like a much better kit in here, you know, maybe a custom install like with the CFX or a Profi, then of course you're going to have other unique features. And unfortunately, I don't have any, at least for this particular kit here, I don't have a any Fallen Order Saber fonts. I do have some on my CFX, just not on this one. But as you can see, even with the blade inserted, this is basically a very nice looking hilt to the point where I'm actually quite happy with it. Now, as far as the actual kit goes, if you do end up getting this hilt, is it going to be easy to install your electronics? This is a couple things to note, is that obviously you're going to need to unscrew the pommel here, remove that, and then up on here on the fin portion, you'll probably notice there's a retention screw. There's two on one side and two on the other. There's on one of these, I think it's this one over here on the right hand side of where the retention screw is at the top. By removing one of these panels, there's actually a hidden retention screw on this middle piece that's right here on the hilt. This little gray, dark gray color scheme here. And by loosening that retention screw, you could actually remove this entire top piece to the point where you just have this little bit exposed. And basically what you do for your electronics is that you actually insert your LED or NeoPixel setup through the top portion here, because if you try to do it the other end, there are sections here like where this control box is, there's a screw that will prevent that from moving. But again, you will have to install your main LED portion lighting through the top, and then of course the rest through the bottom here. And I recommend using string and stuff to help move the wires along if you needed to reach that. But that's really the only thing to pinpoint as far as the kit goes. But in the end, I actually really like this hilt. And this is something that I could easily recommend for anyone that is, maybe a fan of Star Wars Fallen Order, or maybe you're just a fan of this hilt design in the end. Now, there is one other Fallen Order hilt that I am going to be checking out. I'm just waiting for it to come out. According to Korbanth, it's looking like the end of the month, and that is the Fallen Order Mach 2 hilt that they have, where that hilt that's coming in actually had two versions in terms of the pommel section, or just like this whole bottom half, where you could either have the damaged or undamaged version. But like I said, when that comes in, I'll make sure I'll be doing a video on that in the end. But like I said, as far as this goes, I give the hilt pretty much a 10 out of 10. Definitely recommended. Like I said, it's really hard to figure out. And since we're mentioning the hilt itself, here is a comparison with my 3D printed one with this one, so you might have an idea in terms of color scheme that you might want to check out. So if you do get the weathered option, it will look kind of similar to this with more along the edging. And as you can see, the chrome is just a much brighter and cleaner version. And honestly, they both look really good. But like I said, if you have any questions, please let me know in the comment section down below. And a link to this is in the description as well. I did take notice that before making this review that the chrome option here is currently sold out, but they do have currently available the weathered and black option. So that's still there. So you have to wait for the chrome one if you wish to get that. But before I actually leave this video, I do want to go ahead and mention a few things really quick. Is that for one, the Obi-Wan lightsaber that I have from the pack store is currently on the way. It's looking like it's going to be here by the 20th or the 21st. The Darth Maul saber that I've ordered from them as well has yet to ship. And I'm also getting a custom Darth Vader lightsaber that's going to be complete with not only NeoPixel, but a Profi board. So I'm finally going to be taking a look at Profi. It's going to be a bit of a learning curve, but I hope you guys look forward to that. Until then, I'll see you guys on the next video review.